My story is about the first female elected to federal office in Iowa. She's also the first female combat veteran to become a U.S. Senator. Her name is Joni Ernst. She's got a lot of firsts in her life. She now appears to be in a close race for her second term. The Iowa Republican has just released her new book. It's called Daughter of the Heartland, My Ode to the Country That Raised Me. Joni Ernst will tell you she's a very proud farmer's daughter. It's published by Threshold Editions. That's an imprint of Simon & Schuster, which, by the way, is a division of Viacom CBS. Before joining the Senate, Ernst served in the Iowa National Guard. She got a first there. She was a 1st Battalion commander and the U.S. Army Reserve. She was deployed to Kuwait and Iraq, so she says she knows what boots on the ground really means. Senator Ernst joins us first on CBS This Morning from Urbandale, Iowa. Senator Ernst, it's really good to see you this morning. I'm going to begin with a question, heads up. It's got a lot of numbers in it. Iowa was one of 7 states not to have a stay-at-home order. You've got close to 18,000 COVID cases so far, nearly 500 deaths, and the cases are still continuing. I think since Sunday there have been another 350 cases. Do you think that the governor should have issued a stay-at-home order in your state?
I think our governor has taken all the necessary steps and has followed the CDC recommendations for our beautiful state. We do have metro areas and certain hot spots, and in those communities, certainly the local elected officials are working diligently with the governor. And then there are other locations like where I'm from, which is very rural farmland, where we are trying to get our economy up and going. So I do think the governor has taken all the necessary precautions, and she is working very closely with our local elected officials.
Mitch McConnell said that there's a high likelihood of another coronavirus relief package. What does a good deal look like to you? You know, you've got some meat packing plants in Iowa that are concerned. So what's a good deal for you at this stage?
Well, yes, working together, of course, we need to make sure that there are liability protections in place for those businesses that are getting things back up and going in our economy, focusing on individuals too, those essential workers that have been on the front lines and really carrying the brunt and the weight of the pandemic, focusing on them, those healthcare workers, our truck drivers, our grocers, those folks working in the meat packing facilities and food industries. They're all heroes for keeping our families safe and healthy, and we want to make sure we're focusing on them as well.
We all agree with that. You know, the Trump administration has said testing. Let's talk about testing for just a sec, because I really do want to get to your book. The Trump administration says testing should be left to the states. Medical experts appear to say we need uniform testing around the country. What do you think?
I think it's a combination of both. Certainly, we need those guidances coming from the federal government, and then programs that can be pushed out by the states and the local authorities, working conjunction, hand in hand, federal government and local public health agencies, I think would be a great way to get as many tests out to our population as possible. And I think once we start seeing that, everybody will feel a lot better about going out in their communities if they know where those hot spots are, where to avoid, and maybe some areas where we can open up.
All right, Senator Ernst, learned a lot about you reading your book. For instance, at the age of 7, your dream was to be a nurse, a farmer's wife, or Miss America. That dream didn't go so well for you, Senator Ernst. What happened?
Well, I didn't realize those goals, but I did go from that little girl on a family farm, certainly to some greater aspirations. I never imagined that I would be serving in the United States, especially through a number of challenges that I've been through in my lifetime. But I am so grateful, and the title of my book says it all. It's my ode to the country that raised me. We are so blessed to be in such a tremendous nation where you can be a farm girl growing up in rural Iowa and then serve your nation in uniform as well as serve your constituents in the Senate.
Senator, Senator, not just a farm girl, but a farm girl that has castrated hogs when she was young, who wore a plastic bag on her shoes to save her shoes. You talk about growing up as a farmer's daughter. You said it was excellent training, you said, for challenges you faced in military and now in public office. Your tagline now reads, Mother, Soldier, Senator. Go you. So how is the way you raised affected you and really gave good examples for you when you had military life and public office? Because you do draw a correlation between the two.
Yes, and thank you, Gail, because I grew up with a mom and dad that really believed you had to pitch in and work, and a lot of that was manual labor. That's what farming entails. So not being afraid to get my hands dirty, understanding there is no job beneath me, and that really instilled the values and the work ethic that have carried me on through the military, challenging myself in various situations and knowing that I can overcome. And of course, always circling back to gratitude, knowing that I couldn't have done all of this without wonderful friends and family supporting me.
You know, and Senator, listen, you've had a lot to overcome. You write very candidly, I have to say, very poignantly about abuse. You suffered from a boyfriend at a very early age. Then later in your marriage, abuse and infidelity. And you said all of those certainly changed you. But what is your message to women who have gone through it or who are going through it now? You have a very clear point of view on this.
Yeah, my story is a very raw story, but it's not a story that is unusual across the United States. And I've had many women that have thanked me for being so candid about whether it's sexual or physical abuse. And my point to other women and other young ladies out there is that this is what a mom can be. This is what a mom can do. She can work, she can serve in the military, she can serve in elected office, she can raise a family. There are so many things and opportunities. We just have to know how to pick ourselves up after having those challenging situations, drive through it all, and know that we can be all of these things. We can be aspirational and inspirational. Senator.
Yes, and you said, you know, you think about your daughter, 20-year-old Libby. I'm so glad that you have her in your life. As someone who you said suffered from low self-esteem and low self-worth, you have certainly turned that around. Senator Ernst, we thank you. Thank you, and good luck with your book. It's called Daughter of the Heartland. It's on sale now wherever you like to buy your books.